ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, is watching you. If you're reported for any corrupt practice, you'll be investigated, prosecuted, and punished. Corruption is harmful to our nation. Join the campaign against it by reporting any corrupt practice to ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Let we join hands with ICPC, make them better.
Let's make Nigeria great again.
ICPC, they want you.
One hand for corruption.
Break the chain of corruption now. Don't give, don't take. This message is brought to you by ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Corruption is a problem that has far-reaching consequences on nations, and Nigeria is not an exception. Bribery, nepotism, gratification, forgery, age falsification, etc. are some of the corrupt practices that are prevalent in government ministries, departments, and agencies. Over the years, this has in no small measure reduced the effectiveness and efficiency of the public service. One of the ways in which the ICPC is policing the public sector is the establishment of anti-corruption and transparency units in Nigeria's MDAs, otherwise referred to as ACTUs. Their establishment is derived from Section 7, subsection 1, as well as Section 70 of the Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Act 2000. The units are to perform all the functions of ICPC detailed in Section 6A to F of the Act, except that of prosecution of offenders. Welcome to Corruption Must Go, a production of the Public Enlightenment Division of ICPC. I am Hawasani Garba, your anchor for today's edition. Today on the program, we shall examine the anti-corruption and transparency units as a tool for corruption prevention in MDAs. What informed the establishment of ACTUs? How well are the units achieving the purpose for which they were established? And in what ways has the Commission achieved the objectives of curbing corrupt practices through the ACTUs? These and other questions will be answered when we come back. In the meantime, Joy Aja is standing by with details of events around the Commission. Don't go away.
Hello viewers, thank you for staying with us. I am Joy Aja with Anti-Corruption Stories. The chairman of ICPC, Professor Bolaji Owasonye SAN, has called on stakeholders in Enugu to join in the implementation of the National Ethics and Integrity Policy with a view to stimulating desirable behavioral change. This call was made recently at a one-day sensitization workshop organized by ICPC through the Anti-Corruption Academy of Nigeria, with support from the MacArthur Foundation on bringing about positive behavioral change in the society using the national policy. In his opening remarks, Professor Owasonye noted that the ideal behavior for citizens is that they should respect the laws of the land, keep their words, do their duty with diligence, respect and value other human beings, not get involved in stealing from the government, cheating others, or any form of deception. The chairman, who was represented by the resident Anti-Corruption Commissioner, Enugu State, Mr. Kennedy Eboteme, stressed the need to make intentional efforts to turn around negative behaviors to positive ones through the inculcation of positive values. The workshop witnessed presentations on the overview of ICPC initiatives and the context and pillars of the National Ethics and Integrity Policy. The highlight of the workshop was a breakout session during which the participants were grouped according to their interest and discussed their role and challenges to implementing the policy. The Kogi State Office of the ICPC has charged newly inaugurated members of the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit of the Power Equipment and Electrical Machinery Development Institute, Okene, to work as a team to entrench a culture of discipline, integrity, transparency, and accountability in their establishment. The resident Anti-Corruption Commissioner of the state, Mr. Ulu James Okoro, gave this charge during the inauguration of the ACTU recently at the Institute. He expressed ICPC's appreciation to the management of the Institute for approving the inauguration of the unit, emphasizing that without management buy-in, ACTUs cannot function properly. He therefore solicited management support to ensure the unit is given the enabling environment to fully carry out its functions. The acting managing director and CEO of the Institute, Engineer Isa Yakubu Adaga, expressed the Institute's readiness and determination to rid the agency of incidences of corruption. That will be all on this segment. Corruption Must Go continues with Hawa. Please stay with us.
You are still watching Corruption Must Go, and our focus is on the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Units of MDAs. There is a common saying that prevention is better than cure. ICPC believes firmly in this as it moves to reduce corruption to the barest minimum in Nigeria. In 2003, ICPC established the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Units to serve as focal points for the Commission's corruption prevention efforts in MDAs. Adebimpe Abodurin of the System Study and Review Department of ICPC, who oversees the affairs of ACTUs and its desk officers in MDAs, explains the mandate of the unit and its operations. Take a listen.
ACTU is simply an acronym for Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit. ACTUs were established in MDAs in 2001 following the approval by the Federal Executive Council, and that approval was communicated to the management of MDAs through the Office of the Head of Service of the Federation in 2001. And so after the approval, MDAs went ahead to establish the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Units. ACTU is simply a corruption prevention tool within MDAs. They assist ICPC in ensuring that MDA operations are done in an effective and efficient manner for service delivery. The functions of the ACTUs is patterned after the duties of the ICPC. So basically, ACTUs are to perform all of the functions of the ICPC except prosecution. ACTUs are mandated to carry out periodic sensitization for members of staff, and this is to engender ethical reorientation and diligence amongst members of staff. ACTUs are also to conduct what we call preliminary investigation to complaints and petitions received from time to time. They monitor and observe certain categories of the public service rules that borders on dishonesty, corruption, embezzlement, suppression of records, and falsification of records. They are to observe on relevant committees, and the essence is to get those committees to do what they are mandated to do in line with extant rules and regulations. ACTUs are also to be the coordinating platform for whistleblowing in MDAs. So where an MDA probably does not have a whistleblowing policy, the ACTU is supposed to step up, develop a policy for the agency, and also ensure that they have effective mechanisms where staff can make reports without any form of victimization. And then ACTUs are also to develop what we call Code of Ethics or Corruption Prevention Guide for their MDAs. The whole essence of this is to help MDAs to develop an efficient and effective workforce devoid of corruption. Over the years, since its establishment in 2001, ACTUs have been a viable tool for us to ensure that we have an effective and efficient public service by working with the management of the MDAs as well as the Commission. ACTUs have been able to provide viable intelligence to the Commission, which has led to recovery of diverted assets and funds from the MDAs. ACTUs have also assisted in improving the systems of their MDAs by conducting system study and review and corruption risk assessments. This looks at the processes of the MDAs, and from time to time they come up with recommendations that have improved the processes of those MDAs. ACTUs have also assisted in engendering ethical reorientation among staff through the constant sensitization that they carry out year in, year out. ACTUs have also, some ACTUs specifically, have worked with the Commission, particularly ACTU of ITAD. We have, through that collaboration, were able to prosecute certain pension scammers within that were in operation. Also, a particular collaboration with the ACTU of JAM led to the shutting down of illegal registration centers. And so from there, ACTU have also helped to ensure that violators of the public service rules are also punished within the MDAs.
You are still watching Corruption Must Go. We are examining the workings of ACTUs in MDAs and its potentials to be a major corruption prevention tool in the MDAs. The importance of this unit cannot be overemphasized, and thus, to ensure that they function effectively, the Commission appoints desk officers to help guide the various MDAs on how best to carry out its activities. ICPC has appointed over 170 desk officers across 495 MDAs to oversee ACTU activities nationwide. We also spoke with some desk officers on the effectiveness of ACTU, and here is what they have to say.
Yeah, my personal experience, first-hand experience with staff of various MDAs, the MDAs have been ACTU desk officers, is the fact that I see that the leadership drive of what ACTU is goes on to express itself in the kind of response we have when sometimes we have when the MDAs organize in-house sensitization programs. I see, I've been at such events where the expression of the fact that the ESCO of the ACTU have done the needful, have secured sufficient buy-in for ACTU driving their MDA. I've seen where even officers, grade level, 7, 6 officers, have, put up questions like, so how do we prevent this? What can we do better? What and what? This we used to do. Oh, we didn't understand it to lead to this. Not that they actually did what you can, term as an act of corruption, as it were, but they've said that, they were ignoring doing certain things, and they didn't know that, this in the end could lead. So the impact of the presence of ACTU in some MDAs, and as driven by the ESCO, and of course, with the cooperation of the CEO of such MDAs, have gone a long way in deepening the understanding of what the intention of ACTU is in MDAs, which is first to deepen the understanding of what constitutes the acts of corruption, to shun corruption, and of course to cooperate with the ICPC. For instance, ICPC have what it calls the scorecard, where you find out that the ACTU team in an MDA has done the needful. It's a seamless work when the commission goes to administer such routine, which is not witch hunting. They know that, they're just trying to see that our system probably is healthy, does not need review, or we're doing what we're supposed to do, serving the public in the interest of the nation, and at the same time being mindful of shunning corruption. So, it's been a fantastic experience with ACTUs that have been disposed. MDAs have been disposed to the intentions of ACTU, which I said earlier on is not to witch hunt or to cause some form of embarrassment or to threaten public officers who are innocently, committedly going about serving the public and the nation.
I must confess that it's one of the best places I've worked as desk officer. And it begins with the political commitment of the head of the agency. Once you can secure the buy-in of the political head of the agency, you are good to go. In that agency, because we got that commitment, the unit could run very well because all that was needed were provided for the unit. And so you had the unit conduct a number of system study within among several departments to check, where you have some infractions that triggered system study. You also have sensitization go on there among staff and top hierarchy of that agency. And as you step into that agency, from the lobby there, from the reception, you could see the activities of ACTU going on there. So essentially, the people there are aware that there's a unit that's prosecuting the war against corruption at that level. To drive the work is an issue. You have a chairman today who is inaugurated. Tomorrow you come, the person is gone on posting, another person takes up, and you want to explain to the person what the work is all about. As you are settling down to work with that person is posted. At times you have almost all the members of the unit go on posting. And so currently we're even seeing how we re-inaugurate, because within the period of the initial inauguration, that none has settled down to work. And so you get there, you see a new face, and they'll be asking you what are we supposed to be doing here in this unit. And you try to educate them as desk officer, because every other time I try to engage. And so you hope that they will understand, and then, but before you know it, you go again, the person is there. I'm supposed to be visiting my ACTU at least by the standing order once in a month in their monthly meeting, once in a quarter or so. So I try to do that, but you go, you see different faces, so it doesn't all go well. So I think the commission, with the feedback I'm getting back to the commission, we're going to still rejig that place and see what works best for them.
The chairman of ACTUs serves as the head of the unit in the MDAs and helps in carrying out the activities of the unit as guided by the ACTU standing order for its operations. Our Corruption Must Go crew spoke to the ACTU chairperson of the National Health Insurance Authority, NHIA. She tells us how the units have been carrying out its functions effectively and the impact it has made on the authority. Take a listen.
ACTU is actually an in-house check mechanism that is organized by ICPC in collaboration with OHCSF. We have been exercising our powers by our system study, by ensuring strict compliance to NHI's Code of Ethics, organized reward commendation and appreciation to staff that demonstrate integrity. We do the inspection and receive all item supplies to the authority. We're talking about the store supervision now. Yeah, we're kind of ACTU in NHIA is kind of involved in the process of receiving of goods into the store. We observe actually. Then we observe again in the bid. That's talking about the procurement. We observe what is happening, and that makes us to be able to check if they are adhering to the process correctly. There's so many change, especially even behaviorally. It's late coming to work, nonchalancy to work, and breed of protocols. You just think you can go up and talk to anybody up there without following the procedure. All these things we've been able to curb them, and even them, they are telling us that they are enjoying. They look forward to ICPC coming to sensitize them. You find out that the 3-point agenda of our organization is actually aligned with what ACTU is all about. You find out that the value, the ethics and value orientation, the transparency and accountability, and accelerated drive towards universal health coverage. This is all what we too are about, and ACTU is really helping us to achieve it. Yeah, of course, it's a worthwhile initiative because you see that the whole essence of drive towards the establishment of ACTU is ensuring transparency in the system. And there's no system that will not be happy to have transparency if actually they mean to do and achieve what they are meant for. So I'll see that ACTU is a worthwhile initiative, and it ensures transparency in the system. One, it builds a strong ethical force and improve behavioral change through code of ethics. That was done by the ACTU of NHIA, you can say, and it also improved the accountability in policy procedure records, which is evidently seen in NHIA operations.
Make we join hands with ICPC, make them better.
Let's make Nigeria great again.
ICPC, they want
Come on,
to.
hand for corruption.
Prevention is better, more economical, and more effective than cure. It ensures that systemic loopholes which allow corrupt acts to take place are effectively identified and blocked. The Anti-Corruption and Transparency Units signify the inclusion of public servants in the fight against corruption in the public sector. It is also an effective method to promote integrity, accountability, and proper management of public resources. That will be all for this edition, but before we sign out, this is a call for all Nigerians to join ICPC in the war against corruption in the country. Visit our website www.icpc.gov.ng or call our toll-free lines as shown on the screen to make your reports, enquiries, and suggestions. You can also follow us on our social media handles showing on your screen. See you again this time next week. I am Hawasani Garba, saying bye for now.